Hi everybody, I'm Larry Woodward. Welcome to this week's Outdoors in the Heartland. As a lot of you know, we love to fish for smallmouth bass, and we make that annual pilgrimage or migration to the North Country where the smallmouth fishing is supreme. Well, on our way north this year, we get a phone call as we're driving, and it's from our good friend Mike Lang over at Wilderness Lodge near Marcel, Minnesota. He said the bass are starting to go on the beds and the fishing is on fire. So we make a little detour, hopefully for a day of sight fishing for smallmouth.
Every chance I get, there's a place I go where the bass are biting as the sun hangs low. There's a feeling I get that I hope will never end. On a deep, clear lake or an Ozark stream, I kick back, relax, and I start to dream about what Mother Nature has waiting around the bend. Hey, Larry and Bob will take me there today. My gear's packed up and I just can't wait to get out on my way. Outdoors in the Heartland, it's like coming home to an old friend. That city life is not for me. There's fun as far as I can see. The great outdoors is where I want to be. Outdoors in the Heartland.
Your Quality Ford dealers present Outdoors in the Heartland with Bob Richardson and Larry Woodward. This segment of Outdoors in the Heartland is brought to you by Ford and your Quality Ford dealers. Mercury Marine, Motor Guide, Never Stop, Strike King, #1 in fishing lures, Browning, the best there is, and Triton Boats, we take America fishing.
There we go. Come on, buddy. First fish of the morning on a spinnerbug. You know, I put a spinnerbait on the start because we got in here a little late. Had not been on this lake before, and the wind was blowing, the sun was out, and I thought cover a lot of territory. It didn't take long. It's not exactly what we're looking for, but what a pretty little fish. Woo, look at this. Look at that. A mouthful of teeth. You know, probably when we come up here, probably one of my worst enemies is this guy right here. Lots of teeth, but they do stretch string and they are a lot of fun to catch. And we're going to do catch and release, but that is a pretty nice little pike, if there is such a thing.
I will even help you out.
You're going to even help me
Since
out?
I got you into this mess and brought you down here.
Okay. Watch it, watch it, watch it. Be careful. Got 2 hooks in there.
Yeah, I got it.
2 hooks and about 35 teeth.
They're off that ledge right here.
Number 2.
That's 3 counting that boat at a pike that was relatively bigger than normal. So we'll call that 3.
Smallmouth, it's a better one. Well, surprisingly, that was off that lay down tree, and I very seldom, Larry, catch much smallmouth. Now, if I'm largemouth fishing, I want a key on wood.
There's one difference here that someplace we smallmouth fishers current here. And that fish could use that log as a current break.
Like I said, just a little 3-inch grub with a hook in and a lead head, but maybe we come on to something here. There you go. Smallmouth right on that rock.
Look at the size of that one.
That's a nice one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
What we just said, you never can go wrong with points when you're looking for fish.
And I seen that fish just basically come up and take that crawl. It was probably in less than 2 foot of water.
That's a quality fish, man. That's a quality bass right there for someplace you ain't been. Hopefully we can keep doing that. Look at there. I seen them two depressions, threw that in there, and here he came. I couldn't see him until I threw in there. We gotta get closer to the bank. That's probably why that other one I caught was the way he shot out of there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right there, there's two big donuts right there.
I didn't throw to that one up there. Now we gotta start bank cruising. The second one off of it.
Same bed?
Yeah.
You lift it.
That couldn't be the same fish, could it? That fast?
I wouldn't think so.
This is gonna be fun.
You know, the bite got really tough here, and I found when that happens, I kind of downsize sometimes. And King's got this little 3-inch, kind of a chubby, little curly tail grub on the lead head. Just put it on. Of course, it's not exactly what we're looking for, but it's always nice to have something stretch your string. I'll tell you what, we're gonna go commercial break. We're gonna pay some bills. We'll be right back with more Outdoors in the Heartland right after this. Hopefully catching bigger smallmouth.
Check out oith.com or go to facebook.com/Outdoors in the Heartland. Every week there's going to be prizes, giveaways, and contests.
This segment of Outdoors in the Heartland is brought to you by Ford and your quality Ford dealers, and Mercury Marine.
That one had to get right up, cruise the banks. Here he is.
That's a big female up there. That is a good one.
We're having fun now, Alfie. There he is. Got him. I seen him come up and get it. Now, smallmouth bass are going to start to spawn when the water temperature gets into the low to mid 60s. They're moving in and they're ready. And they will spawn in water from anywhere from a foot to 10 to 15 feet, depending on the water clarity on the body of water where you're at. A lot of times you'll pull up on a spawning bed area and you can just start picking out the rings that the fish have either cleaned out. But one thing you got to remember when you find these fish, you'll be able to catch a lot of those sight fishing. But remember, some of the biggest smallmouth will be on beds deeper than those, and you might not be able to see them. So it will pay you great dividends to try and fish the perimeter of those beds a little bit deeper for those big ones that you can't see. Well, the old salt impregnated Strike King tube. It's so windy, it's hard to see down in there, but I'm gonna change from my Rage Craw to this tube, and that way it'll help me when my tube disappears. That might be because there's a mouth around it. Now, with the brisk winds that we're facing today, it made seeing fish on the beds in this shallow, black, brackish, copper-colored water kind of difficult. But once we located these areas, we'd back off of them and we'd throw in there right on top of them with that Spitting King. Then we'd come in there and we'd either use a white Strike King tube or the Rage Tail grub. But you throw that white tube or grub in there and it disappeared, set the hook, because he was on there. Here he is. So there, that was pretty deep. That was hard to see right there. The old one-of-a-kind tube.
Tell you what, over the years, probably has caught more fish on beds, a tube like that, than anything.
Just smallmouth in general, how many fish the tube caught?
Oh, man.
There's a bed right here. A little bit to the right.
There he is. Well, there he goes. I think that's a bed.
I'm like, more to the right, and he come and got it anyway.
Well, there was a little stump, and I just kind of was going to end up on the other side, wrong side of this stump. That looks like, and there's another bed, looks like right there. That's a pretty nice fish. We're doing, look at that.
That is a big fish.
That's a good fish. Come here. Whoo-hoo, look at that. Chunker, I'm gonna put her back in there. We'll catch her again some other day.
Here's a tip, and remember this and live by it. Sight fishing bass is okay as long as you release those fish immediately, right in the area where you're at. They'll swim right back to their bed, and everything will be cool.
And a little old male. Up there looking for him a girlfriend. He ate that thing.
Here we go, big one. On that big bed that we kept going by.
I
Can't really do nothing with him. But it's really a deep bed. It looks like a female fish. Yeah, that's good.
Well, he caught the female and I got the male. Come on up there. Well, Larry's down there trying to play with the fish. I kind of snuck up around the front and kind of hogged it, but just, again, fan cast out here and caught that male.
You got one up there?
You want to reel it in?
No.
I did.
That's a pretty good fish. Where'd it come from?
I don't know, I just threw it out. But I think it's a pike.
No, it ain't either.
I'm kidding. I just taking a little break and
I'm looking for beds, but I just ain't seeing
I
none.
just cast it out. Look at that. That's actually a nice fish. This is pretty easy. I'm blaming you on not being a very good guide, but you put me on a big fish. I told you you could reel one in and I'd catch it. Just you thought I was kidding. I was on break. I got like a union contract.